back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. So, I have done some attentiveness to the thing and stuff and junk, and apparently we should upgrade some armor here. So that is a thing that we should look at doing, so let's look at doing said thing. And it was suggested that scale armor be put back on our boy, and then the Saint's armor be put onto us. Try to see if there's anything else that's maybe slightly better. Not really. But we get the second chance. Second chance. Oh, we revive with... Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, let's go ahead and put the scale armor over here on us. It's a little bit sad. I'm gonna put this back on our boy here. And Eder is gonna have that. We're gonna go and get ourselves a bit stronger with the new shiny armor. And I'm gonna keep the Brigandine around for a while. I kind of wish that there would be a way that you could lower the... Well, we can do that. Self +2 damage reduction. Huh. Anyhow, I was hoping there would be a way that you can actually lower the amount of percentage slow thing. If that was a possibility. But it does not look like there is a way to do that. So, what I'd like to see, can we increase this at all? Apparently, yes. Yes, we can. So, what does that do for us exactly? Looks like we can add some constitution, some dexterity, or some intellect. Now, dexterity, that increases our action speed, so if we have high dex, we can do that? Oh, that's actually amazing. I can't believe that worked. Alright, well, let's go here and do this with him as well, then. Should be able to do fine. Enchanting. Huh. How very interesting. I do apologize. I know I'm pretty big noob at stuff like this, but I find this to actually be quite compelling and interesting. Can we enchant the sword too? We can have increased accuracy, increased damage. Can add fine to it. Can we do both? Fine is both 4 and 50. Oh, well, that's useful. Burning lash, 25% burn damage. Interesting. Maybe I'll save it for now. Well, that's good though. I didn't even know we could do most of this stuff. But someone had suggested that I check out a few of these things and do the swap out on the armor. Because I am a frontliner, it makes sense. I should have a little bit of a heavier duty equipment thing. So yeah. I do not disagree. I think that will help me quite tremendously. So do we have 2 of Fluvano's things? We do. We have his boots and we have his gloves. And with the pike, the only thing we could do would be secondary damage with burning. Alright, that's fine. That's a good start. Anyway, let's get in here and get some stuff done. I do apologize, folks.
Let's keep quiet.
For a little bit of a delay there at the beginning. No, there are some nasty stuff. Come to me, you foolish creature, for I shall end you. I imagine most of us will end him. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. He got paralyzed, didn't he? Oh boy, that's not great. Alright, well, how long before your chanting's done, friend? Alright.
I'm here.
know we're doing some stuff. Rawr. How about we have you do this? What's this thing? At the sight of their comrades, their hearts grew bold. Oh, that's what he's chanting. Oh, that's cool. March of Kamoa. Nice. And now that he's gone to the second one, blessed was a Wengrid, quickest of his tribe. Our move speed and reflexes are increased. Oh, that's neat. I never had noticed that before. I mean, he got beat down pretty bad. He did, but I think he'll be alright. He's not gonna have much in the way of health left, though, which is unfortunate. I'll have a decent amount, but not a lot. So he's down to how much health? He could pretty much more or less die 2 times. I actually kind of want to swap these guys out a little bit.
Following your lead.
No, I want you like that. Nope, I was right there. There we go. That's how I want them. So I want me, I want him, then I want our shooter chanter guy, and then I want Aloth and Endurance as the last guy. The gray and brown pelts of mice flit between the boards.
I shall.
Shall you indeed?
Cast light in dark places.
How did he end up there? Oh, I suppose. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Swap you two. There we go.
Yes?
Okay. Onward we go. Let's head over here. I just want to see what this says. The brazier's chains are rigid with rust. We do have an upstairs that we can go through. We have... maybe this is a downstairs or a basement or something? I'm not sure where we're going right now. I feel like we are not stealthy. Oh, we were.
Nice and quiet.
Oh, the broken line means stealth. I know, guys. It's a lot of obvious stuff. And just, you have to remember, it's been years since I last played, so I've obviously forgotten a few things. Alright, we're going to go after the Phantom. We're going to go after you. We're going to go after you. You and Durant. Come down here, friend. Okay, let's burn it out. Let's get you to go super crazy boar pigman mode. Okay, take that out. It keeps getting paralyzed, and that is a problem.
Hey.
Alright. Can we knock the shadow down? We can. Like a boss. Alright, pretty happy with that.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Spiders have taken up residence in the empty shelves, which is not very quiet. Well, there is that. Well, here's another thing, guys and gals. If you haven't checked it out, I don't always plug other channels, and I probably should do it more often. Get some collaborative stuff going back and forth with people, but you guys know the Colonel's been around the channel for a very long period of time now, and we do stuff together often enough. Divinity, Original Sin 2, so on and so forth, right? So he actually, I think it was when the White March originally released, he did a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, the White March, all the way through as, I believe it was a druid. And I also believe right now, not literally the second, but he's in the process of when he streams, I don't know if it's every day or if it's only one day a week that he streams. He is actually streaming Pillars of Eternity as well. I don't know what character he's playing as, so I can't give you any heads up there. But if you guys like Pillars of Eternity and you want to see more of it, and I mean, despite my rapid, attempts here to get through the game, I'm going to slow it, and you want to see, more of it, go check out the Colonel's stuff. Colonel RPG on good old YouTube. Something has made a nest out of the old straw and mattress ticking. Okay. But yeah, a few more things, Pillars of Eternity related. Good stuff. He did really well, too, when he released his White March. I think he was one of the top, 3 people who were doing it at the time. Which was amazing, because when I released my original Pillars of Eternity Let's Play, I was not even in, the top 10 pages. So I guess it's all about timing, when and where you do stuff. So again, kudos to him, and if you guys want to see more things that are Pillars of Eternity related, definitely go check out his stuff. Alright, we have a steward. And as you come to the end of the Great Hall, you perceive an inviting warmth radiating from a grand throne wrought out of marble. Its masterful artistry out of place amidst the castle's more practical stonework. The veiled face of a woman is carved above the throne's backing, watching over the room with hollow eyes. Interesting. As you approach, you feel the warmth fluctuate, as though stirring. A voice rings out from the carving, permeating the fortress through stone and air.
Another watcher in Caed Nua, glowing very brightly indeed to these eyes. What strange happenstance.
Huh. I'm looking for Merwald.
As am I. If you should happen to find him, I would be glad to know of it. Each day his absence brings new dust to my halls, new cracks to my stones. It's shameful is what it is. The Earl would never have let it come to this. You are free to search for him here. I will unbar the way.
Oh. Okay. Are you imprisoned in that throne?
Imprisoned? At times it feels that way, I suppose. But it's more that I reside here. The throne was brought up from the ruins. One of the first things they found. As a last favor to a dying woman, the Earl arranged for me to be moved into it. Audra is an accommodating vessel for a soul.
Interesting.
Oh, it's not as confining as it seems. I can feel the whole keep from here, and all things that are tied to it.
Also interesting.
There's something about this throne and its construction. Or maybe it's something about this place.
Okay, you said these were your halls?
Not as a land is its lord's, more as a child is its mother's. This castle was my design, you see. The Earl appointed me to do it. I was getting on in years. I knew it would be my only chance to build something magnificent.
Doesn't look super magnificent now, but that's okay. I imagine in its day it was glorious.
When it was built, I couldn't bring myself to part from it, to go back to my lonely home. I begged the Earl to let me stay, to take care of it. It was all I wanted, and he granted it.
Nice.
Years later, when Bereth's usher finally came calling, I begged the Earl to find a way to let me remain, and so he did.
Kudos to you. Thinking outside the box, tell me more about Merwald.
He was a great man. He came here one day, young with long hair and polished armor, and he banished the dark things that had come to lurk in this place after centuries of neglect. He could see the beauty of this place, the way it had been, so he claimed it for his own when no one else would take it. We worked together to restore it.
Well, that didn't seem to go so well.
But he began to grow distant some time ago. He never told me why. He retreated deeper and deeper into the keep, never leaving, sending servants for food, hiding himself from my sight. The restoration stopped. Now, to look at the place, you'd never know the progress we'd made. In most places, it's worse than it ever was. And all I can do is watch it crumble around me.
The voice gives a wistful sigh. The voice gives a wistful sigh. I have no idea. So, just... Any idea where I can find
feel his
Merwald?
presence faintly somewhere deeper inside the keep. But he uses his gifts to confound me, and my senses are dulled while he does so. I only wish I could know his mind.
Uh-huh. And what Earl were you speaking of exactly?
The Earl of Yenwood. The original, in fact, when Deerwood was a colony.
Huh.
He found this site, the only ruin Ere Glanfarth refused to defend, and he believed its wealth would be great. The keep was his way of defending his family's claim, and that claim became his obsession. He had to know what lay beneath.
Huh.
He devoted his life to excavating the ruins below the keep. They had been sealed with rock and soil. Deliberately, it would seem. Years passed, and with them the Earl. He dug his entire life and never found what he sought. His obsession became his sons and his sons' sons. And one day, that young Earl broke through.
Cool. What did he find?
An endless maze, incomprehensible in its construction. But he would never come to learn more than that. Vile things had taken residence there, vile and dangerous. They poured up through the keep and slew its residents, the Earl among them.
That sounds like I should be getting out of here then. So it's been nice talking to you. I'm going to run away now before I get murdered by vile things.
After that, the keep remained abandoned, unused, wasted. Mayor Wall's mastery of this place was the first hope I'd had in 200 years. How I've longed to see it as it once was.
Uh-huh.
I can only guess why all this has happened. I fear I've wronged the gods putting this place here, and they've doomed me to watch it wear away into dust. To witness my own folly.
What have you learned?
Take care in your search. Many dangers lie in wait here.
Good, maybe forewarn me of some of them. Oh. Wait, there's a chest in here. It's clearly not trapped. Huh, it's a treasury. Well, it doesn't really help me much. Alright, speaking of random things that have nothing to do with anything else, let's throw our book into our little box here. And let's go read a book, shall we? There we go. I'm pretty sure we read the Tattered Journal. Yep. The Book of Verses. This small volume of verses and psalms is somewhat battered, suggesting it used to be carried on someone's person. The pages are dog-eared and worn, and the gold threads which form the title of the book have begun to fray. The book tends to open to a particular section, where someone has marked a verse with a small blotch of ink. Eadnung, the bright star, spoke, and her voice was like a clarion cry, calling his soul forth. He knew her for the right hand of the shining god, and was afraid. O wanderer, hear me, she spoke. You are known to us, and your deeds put you far from salvation. And he wept, for he knew that his sins lay bare before this great illumination. Then Sargamus spoke, and his voice swept forth with the heat and force of the bright day's sun. Weep not, for the child of light has forgiven us even for you, if you will embrace him. Harmkey knelt before them, then, resolved to save himself and ask what he must do. And Modegund spoke. Her voice was like the songbird's final hymn, bidding farewell to the day's light. What darkness lies within you, you must cast into his light. Your sins will be burned from you until you are newly formed and reborn into his keeping. So spoke Modegund, but Eadnung, these names, warned him, saying, You have walked all these years into darkness, and must now return. You will find the path like treading fire, and at every step you will be tempted to turn away. But no harm will come to you if you keep your faith. Fascinating. Alright, Fluvano, thank you, friend. You are a gentleman and a scoundrel. It's fine. Alright, so there we go. A bit more of the lore. I don't know if we're catching up, but we're gaining a little bit of ground there. Alright, the way is no longer barred, so we are going to head on over here and... Oh, it's Mother.
Been out playing soldier again, have we? Go wash up and come help me shuck these peas.
As you draw nearer, the apparition in front of you resolves into an elven woman. Her stringy hair is tied back, and she tugs at a loose thread on her apron. There's a distant hollow look in her eyes until she notices you. A frail smile descends like a veil over her face. Okay, she's not going to talk? Okay. She turns from you long enough to produce a basket that, like her, is shimmering and semi-transparent. And no complaints. You've got to eat your vegetables if you want to grow up strong and be a real soldier one day. Just like we agreed, right? She watches you out of the corner of her eye. I'm going to say nothing.
Soldiers are important people. They defend the weak and punish the wicked. You're too young to understand now, but there are lots of wicked people. People like the man who murdered your father.
Huh. Her voice rises and falls as she bends over the basket. She sighs, a spectral strand of hair fluttering. She snaps off a shell with a torn fingernail. She crushes another husk between her finger and thumb. Remind me what happened to, my father?
Before you were born, the Glanfathans attacked settlers like us. They said we'd knocked over some of their special Adra rocks. That's why they call it the Broken Stone War. They got very angry, and so they came into our villages and killed many people. Your father was one of them.
Her brittle smile snaps. A pod slips out of her grasp, and she jabs the side of her finger with a jagged thumbnail. Okay. She says nothing as the skin slowly turns from white to red. He was one of the people the Glanfathans killed? That's what I said. Her voice is low and hoarse, and her hand is frozen over the basket. Something dark and empty clouds over her eyes. She drops...
That's why you'll be a soldier one day. To protect and to avenge. Why don't you go back out and play? I'll finish up here.
She drops the basket and turns away, dabbing at her face with the corner of her apron. She stares at the trickle of blood on her finger. Well, that was weird. A little weird. Onward. Deeper into Caed Nua. We will find something horrible, I'm almost positive. Oh, goody. Spiders, spiders, and more spiders. Well, Come to me. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I'm stuck too. They webbed me, huh?
Yes?
Alright, can you actually fire? Oh, please don't move too far. Don't go crazy here, buddy. Alright, I think we're doing okay. Except for the part where, well, he's okay.
What?
Let's get a little bit closer here. Do a little bit of this. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We handled our business. It was fine. Alright, we're going to grab everyone. We're going to go read what this says here. The silver trails of slugs gleam inside the barrels. Oh, lovely. Good old slug barrels.
Indeed.
Alright, well, we survived the first ambush of the old spiders. Question is, can we do it again? I'm hoping the answer is, of course. Duh. I have my doubts. Alright, boys and girls. Get to doing a little bit of the merds.
Following your...
Oh boy. Oh boy. You should probably go and engage with them over there. You're probably going to need to do some nasty stuff. And you should probably shoot this guy. Alright, Durance.
Following your...
That worked out phenomenally well.
How may I help?
Very nicely done. Alright, so down he goes. It's just the spider left, and I am trying to man up and face off. And we're going to go back to you and say, "Have you take a nap?" There it is. Very good. Very good. Alright, cool. So that kind of worked out. Let's get repositioned here once again.
Let's keep quiet.
And let's see what we can do here. Hi, y'all. Alright, you stay there. Everybody else, do bad things. Except for you. You get to go over here and do the bad things to this guy. I'm like, they did. I'm like, did they just like stop randomly? I don't know how random it was, but they did stop. What's going on?
Hey.
I mean, I guess that's
Following
good.
your lead.
Alright, well, whatever.
Roll out 10.
I'll spawn some skeletons if you guys want to come up, set some more things. Come on. Alright, boys and girls, come get wrecked. Durance, why don't you come down here, buddy? There we go.
Yes.
Keep attacking, don't stop. I wish he would auto-acquire, like, other targets. That would be cool.
Indeed.
Alright, well, we're pretty much out of
See
it
what
right now.
lies this
Let's see if we can't finish off any remaining spiders that may or may not exist.
New orders, Lieutenant. Ready your squad.
Alright, we'll talk to the commander in a moment. And then we're probably going to have to make camp here. And rest. I'm going to walk through all these different places just to see. Thankfully, nobody's been wounded in a while. And I do take some comfort in that. And man, we're almost out of time again for the episode. We'll probably end up talking with the commander in the next episode. But for now, like I said, let's go into each of these little cells and see. Is there anything lurking? It really isn't.
Hey.
Alright, so I'm
I'm
going to
here.
gather up all the peeps. I'm going to come here. We're going to actually... Camping is not allowed in this area. Well, that's going to cause us a small issue, isn't it? Well, we're going to try to camp somewhere, so... If we can't do it here, we got to figure out somewhere to do it. Camping's not allowed in this area at all. Can we do it here? Can we do it out in the courtyard? Because we definitely have a little bit of recovery we need. Well, worst case scenario, guys and gals, between this episode and the next, if it doesn't let me camp here, it does, okay. I was going to say that I'm just going to go to the next area. I'll do it all off camera, essentially. Okay. You wake to the sensation of being shaken. You open your eyes to see a deer standing over you, his hand jostling your shoulder. He looks concerned. Your eyes are heavy and your vision blurred, the vague unease of unremembered nightmares clouding your thoughts. You're not sure you slept at all the previous night.
Hey. Hey. You're awake? Good.
Yep,
You were
he exhales.
kind of thrashing around, eyes rolled back in your head. You were shaking. Trying to snap you out of it for a long time now. Thought I was gonna have to get a bucket of cold water. You don't seem like you get much rest at night. You got those dark circles under your eyes.
Well, not lately. There are dreams and whispers. Have we had that? Like, I don't think so.
Well, it's the Watcher thing, then. I'm sure it just takes some time to adjust is all. I'll try to let it sort itself out. But you'd better wake up faster next time. Trust me, you don't want that bucket of cold water.
His smile is not one of a man convinced by his own words. Well, either way, we've recovered, and that's going to pretty much do it for this particular episode. In the next episode, folks, we will be continuing our adventures down below Caed Nua, or Caed Nua, or however you say it. And, yeah, eventually, hopefully, finding Merwald. We'll talk to the commander that's there, and, yeah, we'll see where that takes us. Alright, folks, until then, my name is Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.